Shalom and blessings to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. I'm going to start off by giving all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai Ba'Shem Kadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. I wanted to get into this super recent article that goes going into the protests that have been occurring around the globe at an innumerable rate over the past several years, which is an extreme indicator of the Most High's return, okay, in the form of uprisings, ultimately in the form of destruction, but one of those being uproars and uprisings of the people, all right, revoltings, which is eventually gonna turn violent, as we're gonna find in the prophecies that are written of this, okay, in the precepts. It says protesters chant slogans against a protest over death of Mahsa Amini while in the custody of the morality police in downtown Iran. All right, September 21st, 2022. It's called The Age of Global Protest, June 1st, 2023. All right, popular protests are on the rise and they're increasingly going global. Over the past 5 years, popular movements demonstrating against fiscal austerity and corruption have brought down democratic governments from Europe and Latin America to Africa and Asia. All right. So these protests and uprisings that are going down are occurring all over the planet, man. In not only going against bigger governments, which ultimately, when you look at it, is going against the biggest entity, which is Esau Edom, all right, the so-called white man. He's being pointed at as the main culprit of the earth, all right, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, all right, that old serpent, fucking that wicked seed, all right, and what they used to call him, they had a lot of terms for him, the blue-eyed devil and all this shit. Well, he indeed is the problem of the earth, okay, and the culprit of everybody's fucking pretty much all of their heartache, all right, and misfortune, all right. But ultimately, like, what do they call that? The so-called Illuminati, that clandestine group of Edomites that are ultimately running the affairs of the earth. All right, and of course under the control of the Most High, through the control of the spiritual principalities, man. The Most High pulling the strings ultimately, but him allowing them to, these fucking demons, to just lay havoc over the earth. All right, but then what else going down to different countries, right? When you scale down, they're revolting against on a country level, right? And then going down to like the city level, or Slovakia state, all right? Because you have the state, you have a country, and then you have the states, and then the cities, which goes down on a smaller scale, and then even the fucking towns, and then and then in even fucking these different corporations and shit, right? So on every front and in every sector of society, there's an innumerable rate of protests, okay, that are fucking continuing to skyrocket. And it's just signs that the Most High is bringing this place to an end, man. Okay, it says pro-democracy protests in authoritarian countries have also proliferated, with several having succeeded in ousting long-ruling leaders, as in Sudan and Algeria. Now the economic fallout from the CV pandemic, combined with the rise in energy and food prices caused by the war in Ukraine, are driving another wave of cost of living protests. Okay, I'm gonna hit this in another segment because it's a whole um, it's a pretty much a it's something that needs to be delved into separately. All right, and aside from, so that it can, the essence of it can be absorbed, of Esau Edom, these draconian laws that he has implemented and is going to continually put the squeeze on, as the serpent, right, the constrictor, is going to continually put on these severe measures upon the people. All right, to further driving them into low quality of life, which is basically this dystopian era that we're headed into. It's extremely misfortunate, all right, for the people, man. Like they even said, a quote: "You'll own nothing, and you'll be happy." But it even goes deeper than that. Okay. It says, and with the advent of new communication technologies and media platforms, what happens anywhere can be seen everywhere. See, so the spread of information, which the Most High, this has been addressed heavily in the camps. Well, in the platoons at Great Millstone, specifically about the line that has gone out throughout the whole earth, and how this ultimately was a major tool of exposure of the devil, all right, and his tactics. You see, and how this is likened into the unicorn, the agora, right, the digital marketplace, unto, and as well as unto the Urim and the Thummim, okay, which the Most High had created and set this thing up to ultimately, for that purpose, for the spread of information and the exposure of this devil, right? Fucking all type of whistleblowing going down. What does it say? Their tongue falling upon themselves. Shameful spewing on this piece of shit. All right. This man being revealed in his time. All right. Through the mouth of the prophets. Okay. That's one of the primary reasons, and the ones who are leading that front of exposure, this exposure campaign on the wickedness of this place, and who's the culprit, all right, amongst other things, because one of this man, the culprit of the earth's primary objectives was and continued and was and still is, okay, to this day, is to keep the true Israelites, okay, the only ones that matter to the Most High, as he said himself, all right, of you have I only known, of all the families of the earth, all right, and what else did it say? That the rest were spittle unto him, and likened unto nothing, okay, so the people who only matter on the earth really ultimately, at the end of the day, to pretty much get them to discontinue from their heritage. That was this devil's main fucking objective, and still is. Okay, but that's one of the main things as well that's being fucking unearthed and unveiled through the Most High's through the Most High's divine plan, man. All right. It says the messages and actions of pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong, for instance, inspired and guided demonstrators in other continents. The BLM protests in the U.S. during the summer of 2020 were particularly resonant, building on centuries of international abolitionist and anti-colonialist protest and demonstrations. And you know what? The colonialist is, aka the colonizer, aka the conquistador. Okay, it's the same motherfucker who crawled out of the caves, pretty much, came out of captivity. All right, or you could just put it like this: during the Renaissance era, when against popular opinion was when was the reemergence of any Edomite, not just power, but kind of like an Edomite dominated time. All right, was okay, because before that, of course, you did have the Roman Empire was the most recent Edomite empire before the Renaissance era, right? And then before that, the Greco Empire, and a lot of times it's deemed as the Greco-Roman Empire. Okay, of course that was an Edomite empire, but I use the word reemergence because it was the Renaissance era was the reemergence, and that's what it means as well, rebirth, and rebirth is another word as well for reemergence. Okay, of this Edomite empire on the earth. Okay, when he came out of defeat, we'll say. Okay, and came back from defeat and fucking and did what he's done since the Renaissance era, man. Gone around the earth and just fucking and destroyed many peoples. But why? But what? To heap together many peoples, like I said, many nations and many peoples. All right, for his gain. Okay, so he can extract the resources and enslave the people. You see, to fucking to claim that it's his fucking territory. To be a part of that Edomite empire, this global Edomite regime that we have now. That you think it's just the Dutch is separate from the French, is separate from the British, okay, the Spanish and all this shit, the Portuguese, Italians, okay, of course the not the Jake Italians, but there's mad fucking Edomite Italians, right? But what? They're all fucking Edomites, man. Okay, that make up that global regime that was gained through colonization, through conquest, through rape, robbery, and murder, which is the most important thing of all that, because there are righteous ways of conquest, and the world is gonna see that in the kingdom, and they're gonna dig it though. They're actually gonna be fucking they're gonna be fanned out, meaning they're gonna they're gonna be fanatics, because a fanboy, fangirl is another word for a fanatic. They're gonna be fucking Israelite fanatics, man, for our conquest, and it's not just gonna be global. Our conquest, as the scriptures tell us, is gonna be intergalactic. Okay, it's gonna be outside of this, not only this world, this planet, but but it's going to be outside of this galaxy. It's going to be outside of this nebula. Okay. Which a galaxy is comprised of billions of planets, man. Planets in a galaxy, at least 100 billion. It says in our Milky Way. It says planets in our Milky Way alone, at least 100 billion, man. And how many galaxies in this? How many galaxies are there? It says there are roughly 200 billion galaxies. So if there's 200 billion galaxies and 100 billion planets per, what kind of conquest does the Most High have set up for us? It's beyond fathoming. All right, it's beyond understanding. It's transcendent. All right, but it's understandable when taking into consideration eternity, the infinite lifespan of Jake in the kingdom. Okay, now it becomes somewhat fathomable. And even still, that's why it says the glory, man. You just have no clue. That this shit has nothing to compare. And that's why brothers also have been in the sentiment of saying that none of this shit fucking matters. Ultimately, this little bullshit simulation, really, which really does. These are some extremely eventful acts that are being done, by the Most High through His men. Okay, these acts are gonna go down, and this destruction as well, right? So ain't nothing bullshit about that, and the kingdom is being at hand, and brothers, right? But ultimately, the hell and the wickedness, right? The separation from the Most High. All this is just it doesn't matter, right? The the oppression, okay? Just the filth that brothers have to be fucking associated with being in this place, man. But it says, and who's really bringing out the shit about that, about his crimes, right? The crimes of Esau. Said, let's go down some. In addition to standing in solidarity with U.S. protesters, demonstrations in Europe, South America, and Asia connected the movement to their own experiences of colonialism, racism, and state violence that have been perpetrated by their governments. All right, and this is going to get nasty. This is going to culminate and continue to rise, but culminate into all-out bloodbaths in the streets of these cities, of these states, of these countries, man. Okay. It says, new communication technologies and media platforms are not only raising awareness, they're also enabling movements in different countries to learn from and engage with each other. The leader of the pro-democracy protest movement in Thailand was connected to groups guiding similar efforts in Hong Kong. There is some concern, though, that the ease with which protest methods and tactics can be shared might obscure the amount of work required to organize effective movements that can successfully achieve political change. As a result, nascent efforts could splinter or fail because protesters are not adequately prepared to maintain them, particularly when they are challenged by government forces. That's essentially saying that they're not being organized. They're not. Some aren't organized enough. Okay, but that's just what they know on the surface. Okay, a lot of these groups are having communication in other forms that can't be tracked and traced, which is what you've been seeing with all this VPN and shit. Okay, which is basically a way. Um, it's like digital tokens and different ways that you can mask your IP address, so you could communicate with other people, and they're doing that on some terroristic shit. Okay, that's like on the Boogaloo Boys, the Proud Boys, all those type of organizations and shit. Even different Muslim and you know um, even what is that one, the fucking Antifa and shit. All right, they're linking up on the dark web. Okay, and they're linking up in ways that they can't be fucking monitored. So they don't have raps on this like they think they might. And we know with the prophecy, ultimately this is gonna get extremely out of hand. Okay, it's gonna fucking turn up, man. Okay, it says because look, it talks about them splintering and being fragmented. All right, but that's not the case, and that's just they even just said it. That was for a few of them. All right, it says, meanwhile, governments are actively looking to contain the rise of civil resistance, deploying violence, as in Myanmar and more recently Iran, to crush peaceful protests. During the CV pandemic, many countries used pandemic-related restrictions on gatherings as a pretext to curb demonstrators and arrest activists and journalists, a strategy deployed from Algeria to the Philippines. Other repressive regimes like Russia, Belarus, and Saudi Arabia target dissidents for violence and abduction abroad, calling global attention to the practice known as transnational repression. Okay. So, what is that? To repress? To repress means to basically to shut someone up. A fucking gag order, man. Let's check out this transnational, because obviously that is going into spanning throughout different nations. Transnational repression. When foreign governments stalk, intimidate, or insult people in the U.S., it is considered transnational repression. So it wouldn't just be for motherfuckers in the U.S. It'd be for any other foreign government that that do this, I guess, to another nation. Okay. All right. Authoritarian regimes utilize strategies of transnational repression to silence. Yeah, it's because to repress means to quiet or fucking to hold back. Okay. To silence opposition, collect information, or to coerce citizens to return to their home country. Acts of transnational repression includes assassinations, abductions, digital threats, abuse of arrest warrants, and family intimidation. Okay. We don't have to get too much more of this. Yeah, this is an extensive breakdown of these global protests, man. And we know that this is indeed these prophecies that are unfolding. Okay, because we are at the end. The end of all things is at hand, man. And just as the Most High said that it wouldn't turn void, it wouldn't be rendered void. Okay, it says in Second Ezra 9:3. Let's start at the top, Salak. He answered me then. It said, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the Highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." All right, so this is an extreme indication of the end. All right, the Most High, one of the forms of how the Most High is going to bring destruction upon this place in the form of uproars of the people. And we're going to show you how it's going to get violent, man. Okay, this is in the AV 1611, a masterful resource for breakdowns of apocrypha terms. Okay, that because you can't find that you can't get in the BLB. It says an uproar as a noun is a great tumult, is a violent disturbance, okay, and noise, bustle, and clamor. All right. Horror thus prevailed, and wild uproar. So an uproar is fucking violent, man. A great example of uproars were those rebellions and revolts that happened during the French Revolution. Revolution, hence revolt. Okay. And how bloody, how much of a fucking, just the mayhem. All right, the just the slaughter associated with that revolution, those rebellions, man. How they were just going up into the nobles, these palaces of the nobles, and just fucking laying waste to the French nobility and shit. Okay, man, woman, and child. See, taking out all that fucking aggression on them from being goddamn serfs. Okay, being feudal peasants, feudal serfs. Fucking man, you think some Jake has it bad now. Okay, talk about dirt fucking poor. You see, that's the time we're coming into as well, and I'm sure that was addressed in the article for some of the reasons why these uprisings are going down. Well, no, it just said that's why, because of the fucking the cost of living and the what is it, the something of life, the quality of life. For the cost of living, which the cost of living is so fucking high and unaffordable that it lowers the quality of life because you're not able to afford those things. You're not able to afford the cost of living, so your living is and living arrangements are going to be declined. All right, are going to be on the fucking low status, a low quality of life. All right, whether otherwise you'd be able to in the 90s or in the early 2000s afford a fucking apartment or even the down payment on a fucking house with a decent average wages, right? But now a motherfucker has to share, you know, four niggas in a 2 bedroom. Okay, two a bedroom and shit. All right, that's lowering the quality of life. Okay, um, the quality of food that you're able to buy, all kind of pretty much factors that are tied in with that. Okay, you the cost of living being so astronomical, and the wages being so fucking low, and how that affects the quality of life, man. And that's the squeeze that we're gonna get into on a separate segment that is going to cause these fucking people to lose it out here, man. Okay, to absolutely just go on a rampage. Okay, and we know that they're fucking armed to the teeth. We know these people are armed to the fucking teeth. Shit, I know a fucking coworker from shit. I won't even get specific, but I know a coworker, an older nigga, man, fucking with filing cabinets, not filing cabinets, those cabinets with the double doors. Okay, those storage cabinets. He's got 2, 3 storage cabinets full with fucking artillery, man. We're talking about thousands, tens of thousands of rounds, man. Okay, and fucking a dozen fucking firearms, man. Different calibers and sizes and types of guns, man. So and we know about that ratio, that gun to citizen ratio here in the U.S., let alone however many across the planet, man. You see? So this thing is going to get extremely fucking violent, man. It says in Luke 21:9 in the KJV, but when ye shall hear wars, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Okay? So, of course, we know that this is, in the prophetic timeline, this is going to come before the pretty much the finales, the grand finale prophecies of the thermonuclear missiles and the invasion, the chariot invasion by Yahushua and the angels, man. Okay, so we know these are one of those part of like the economic collapse, right? Pestilences and plagues, uh, um, natural disasters, right? And even World War III. But World War III, you could kind of, in the prophetic timeline, put it closer to the invasion of it with Yahushua and the missiles. Okay, that thermonuclear bath. So this is an extreme indication of the segue into those prophecies, which is the end. Okay, right fucking there. It's not the hidden, but it's right there, man. Because we hear in the know, the ones that have been revealed, the secrets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, know that at that point it's a wrap. Okay, because then we read in the scriptures about how, and Salakia, did I not get that? Okay, yeah, I should have got that first, and I'll go here. But we know, like it reads in Second Esdras, the 15th and 16th chapters, about how these cities are going to be fucking desolate of men. Men are going to desire to hear another man's voice or to see him. Okay, because it's going to be a lot of death and destruction even before this time, man. And this is going to be a part of lot of that death and destruction that's going to take place, this purge status shit, style shit, that's going to go down before even those prophecy finales, if you will, prophetic finales, man. We'll finish it up. Finish this one up before we hit that second address. Okay, it says in NLT in 21:9 Luke, and this to show you the commotions goes into uprisings. It says, and when you hear of wars and insurrections, don't panic yet. These things must take place first, but the end won't follow immediately. Okay, it says here in the NIV, when you hear of wars and uprisings, do not be frightened. These things must happen first, but the end will come right away. See, and then even in the ESV, the end will not be at once. But hey, it's right fucking around the corner. Part of those troubles, like it says in 57. Those troubles, right? So it's already on the domino effect of the end. See, it says, let's get that in Slovakia 21:9. Let's see if the blue letter Strong's or the outline of biblical usage, or the Strong's has anything juicy for commotions. It says, akatastasa.
Strong's G181, akatastasia.
Akatastasia. Okay, it says instability. Wow. A state of disorder, disturbance, confusion. All right, and what explains an uprising better than that? A state of disorder, man. And that's what we have going out for about every fucking thing, man. We didn't get the chance to finish down the list of that lengthy ass article because it's just it's too much to address of the grievances, so to speak, that the people have for the way this place is being fucking mismanaged, and how the people are being are being destroyed. Like it says, the people mourn when the wicked are in rule. All right, they're fucking groaning for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High, man. Okay, Most High setting up shop, setting down, shutting this place the fuck down, man. Curtains closed. 2 Edges 15:16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So this thing is going to get fucking gory, all right? It's going to get gruesome. These people bringing out all their favorite weapons of choice, okay? Let out all their fucking pin-up aggression. Well, hell, it talks about how the people are languishing, fading away. All right, and also we're gonna get it through the Spirit in this next segment about these draconian measures that this devil is about to implement across this whole fucking planet to put the squeeze on the people. And what do you think that's gonna create for? All right, more uprisings, but they're not just gonna get with picket signs. Okay, they're not just gonna go with picket signs and throwing rocks. All right, it's gonna come with the heavy artillery. Okay, and even on a even more pretty much crucial, for lack of a better term, more fucking violent result for you fucking people is it's gonna get medieval, all right, with blunt force objects and knives and what do they call that? Like different things to slay, like likened unto with blades, man. Swords, knives, daggers, spears, fucking makeshift spears, goddamn cleavers, okay, butcher knives, all that, shanks, okay. That's the Most High to unleash the pain and the great miseries that this place is due for, okay. So with that, all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai B'Shem Makakadash.